What's up, everybody? Fantasy Football Friday. Here we go, waking you guys up in the morning. Will, what's happening?
What's up? It's a Friday. What's up, football fans, and let's get into it. We got some fantasy football talk today. Let's get into the key injuries. Let's go. What do we?
That's too much. That's too much. I need to wake up. This is ridiculous. You're going too nuts. But you're already ready to just jump right into the fantasy injuries, all that stuff. But
It's
I need some coffee.
football.
Coffee. Or football. Never mind. I'll take a nap. You take over. All right. Fantasy injuries. The first one I've seen is J.J. McCarthy. We got Carson Wentz stepping up. Do you think he's a fantasy option at all? Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz for the Vikings?
Yes, he is a fantasy option. His coach has turned puddles of mud into football players, into quarterbacks. So I think out there in Minnesota, you got a pretty legit offensive mind, and I think we can rely on Carson Wentz to be a at least reliable backup the next few weeks, and I think he'll be okay. If you're, I don't see who out there was relying on JJ McCarthy to be their starting QB, but if you were, I think Wentz can at least be a viable fill-in in that number two spot. Two quarterback or super flex.
In a two quarterback league or something. Yeah, maybe. But if you have J.J. McCarthy, oh man, you're in bad shape. You are feeling really bad as him as your starter if you're waiting on a quarterback. So
Yes.
find somebody else. Peranto. Wentz can fill in as quarterback too, but you're in trouble for quarterback one. You might have to make some trades. Next injury, Justin Fields. You said he was going to be a bust last week. Bow! He played like garbage, and then bam, gets wiped out of the game. You must have been like, I knew it. This guy sucks. He's the worst. I traded for this guy. Killing me. Brutal. Justin Fields out. I
Just
don't know how long, but it's either way. It's too long. I was hoping for a fantasy guy. He's not a main good player, but
yeah, I mean, you have the return of Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor, Mr. Consistency. If there's anything, and that's if Tyrod plays this week. If there's anything you can rely on with Tyrod, it's usually a lack of turnovers. So you'll probably get about 150 to 180 yards passing, maybe some
mm,
yards. He's a little bit older now, and I don't see Tyrod Taylor as a viable points getter in fantasy. But you won't get negative points.
we will see. We will see. Burrow gone for 3 months, so we got Browning taking on over. Is Browning gonna have any fantasy success? I mean, he threw 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions last week, so I don't know.
Hey, if your league doesn't count turnovers, then you
Ha!
might.
But most do. So
But I think with the offensive options there, what you'll see is Browning get some yards. You might get some touchdowns, but you may also have to deal with the growing pains of the interceptions and possibly some fumbles. Who knows? Yeah. Again, the offense, I think there is just too nice to just say no to Browning. If you're in a super flex two quarterback league, throw him in there and see what happens. Until you find a better option, make some trades.
indeed, Purdy is out for a few weeks, and they got Mac Jones. He played really well last week. I still don't believe in him. I don't want to start him. I don't want to pick him up. I don't want him on my roster. But he is a quarterback out there for a second spot. But we're talking about Mac Jones. He can't be he can't do this. He's not going to continue these touchdowns for the Niners, right?
I think of all the options we have out there, I think Mac Jones may be the best option. Is
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, his quarterback, sorry, his head coach. It was actually discussed that back in the day they wanted, well, Tranahan wanted Mac Jones over.
How far back in the day is back in the day? I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
We're talking about when they drafted Trey Lance. They wanted Mac Jones and not Trey Lance. And we see the trajectory of what happened with those guys. And Mac Jones has stepped up in for the 49ers system. I think the coach Shanahan also has something to prove. Like, hey, I said we should have drafted this guy. Let's see what he can do. And right now, Mac Jones he performed last week. He performed. I think he stepped in admirably. I don't know if we have any debate as to whether he's going to take over for Brock Purdy, but I think if Mac Jones is still out there and you are struggling at quarterback, give Mac Jones a shot.
I hate to hear that. That sounds like the worst. It sounds the worst. We're talking about Mac Jones. Holy crap, that guy's bad. But had a good week last week. Another injury to keep an eye on is Jaden Daniels. I think he's leaning to not playing, so that could be a mess. And then they got Marcus Mariota as the next man up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy I wouldn't want to start. But did you hear anything else about Jaden Daniels not playing?
Yeah, so it looks like Jaden Daniels hasn't really practiced yet. And if you're not getting, I mean, I get it, Jaden Daniels is a stud, but if you're not getting the reps, he's still a young player. I don't know if you could throw him out there. Plus, Jaden Daniels' game relies a lot on his athleticism, moving the pocket, getting out of the pocket, running. And if he's not showing in practice that he can start, stop, cut, um, you don't want to throw it into the game because you don't want another RG3 incident. You don't want to put it
Nope.
out there before he's ready and you just ruin his career. So Jaden Daniels, I don't think he's going this week. But Marcus Mariota, again, yeah, a guy you probably don't want to start, but a guy who's athletic, he's big. Um, and last year when he did play a little bit, he actually did really well. His stats were pretty good last year when he came in. I think he's a seasoned vet. I think he's had time to see and watch the game, and so Mariota may be one of those guys who's a dark horse pickup for that super flex or two QB league. And a lot of these guys are super flex two QB guys. The only one I would say I'm considering a straight up sleeper, not a straight up pick, is our man over there in San Francisco, whose name I won't say for worry of outrage.
Oh man, oh man. All right, those are the main injuries that I've seen. I don't know if there's any other little ones to look out for. You got anything else to fill in the gaps?
Oh, so Aaron Jones over there and the Vikings was thrown on IR. So it's like
Oh, he did go on IR.
he did. He's on the short IR. He's out for 4 weeks. So
I did not see that.
looks like Aaron
Um,
will be out. Injuries to keep a mind of, but they're not out. Brian Thomas Jr. dealing with a wrist injury, probably why he's been so horrific. Brock Bowers still dealing with the knee.
he played, yeah, so he's going through that.
Yeah, he seemed like a little bit more of a decoy than actual option. So we'll see what's up with Bowers coming into this week. Tucker Craft had a minor knee injury during practice this week, but it seems to be um, nothing much. And then one thing to note from last night's game, not injury wise, but Ollie Gordon got some burn. So that's a thing to keep an eye on out there, especially if Achan suffers an injury. Ollie Gordon may be number 2 in the Dolphins backfield.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Time to move on.
we'll talk about that more in a little bit. We'll hop to the studs and duds from last week. Um, the main studs that I have, I'll go through one, and then you can go through one for from last week, and then we'll bounce back and forth. I'm gonna steal your guy because you're probably gonna mention him. Russell freaking Wilson. Jeez Louise, he is the league leader in passing yards. He blew up the Cowboys. They got the loss though, but that doesn't matter in fantasy. Over 400 yards, throwing touchdowns to neighbors. Russell Wilson looking like a beast out there. So that is my main stud from last week. Quarterback.
Yes. Let me compliment your stud with the guy who had an amazing day. Malik Neighbors, eyes being covered, jersey being pulled, hands being held, and he's still making touchdown catches. Let's go, Malik Neighbors, my number one stud from last week. He's putting up ridiculous stats. He's leading the league in, I believe, yards. Um, and this is nothing new. Last year, as a rookie, he set the record for most targets as a rookie. So this is a guy who's going to see the ball a ridiculous amount of time, maybe 10 plus targets a game. Um, that's what we're looking at. So if you're looking, you know what they say,
I don't know what they say.
volume is key. Targets are key when you're looking at fantasy players. You know, if you have two guys of equal talents or of same repute, you want the guy who's going to get the most targets. You want the guy who's going to get 10 instead of 5. So, you know, if it came down to, like, let's say, and I don't know why it would come down to this, but let's say you're a Bengals fan, it came down to Higgins or Neighbors. You got to pick Neighbors. Like, there's no debate.
You could always be my neighbor. Yeah, real estate, it's all about location, location, location. Fantasy, it's always about target, target, targets. So there we go. My wide receiver would be Amon-Ra St. Brown. He blew up the Bears, but who doesn't? Who doesn't? What do you have? 3 touchdowns, a zillion yards. I mean, geez, Louise. He's tearing up. Goff had a great day as well. He had 5 touchdown passes, but once against the Bears. So anybody playing against the Bears, throw them in your lineup against the Bears because the Bears are the worst.
The Bears.
They're the worst. They're horrible. So yeah. I like Russell Wilson, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and then do you have any other guys? I got one more.
I do, and this may be even more than uh, this is more than just stats. But you know who's a dog, who's a stud? Baker freaking Mayfield.
Fourth quarter, Baker.
Baker was on fire. And not truly on fire. I mean, he only had what do you? He had
Not literally on fire.
No, he had 2 touchdowns, 215 yards passing, but the man was getting crushed left and right. Was definitely in pain and popped up. Was rolling around. His leg bent in almost an unnatural way. Was rolling around on the floor. I think um, somebody said Antonio Cromartie Jr. Somebody was talking some stuff, and the man forgot that he was in pain and hurt. Jumped up and started talking some real smack. And to me, he's just the stud. If you're looking for solid point production, I think right now Baker Mayfield is that guy who you can just throw in, and you don't have to worry if you're going to get stats or not. Like his floor is a pretty good floor, and then you throw in the ceiling. Obviously, he's a little bit down on his wide receivers this year, but Baker Mayfield, he is truly to me a stud.
He is not just a stud in fantasy, he's a stud in real life, winning games in the fourth quarter, crushing it. That guy is like the best fourth quarter quarterback this year, probably outside Josh Allen. But my last guy I have is Ja'Marr Chase. Even without Burrow, Chase is still putting up stats. He's putting up numbers. You guys don't have anything to worry about since Burrow went down. Chase is the man. He is unstoppable. So week to week fantasy, you can keep putting him in there as a top guy with all your money if you want, because that guy unstoppable. Doesn't matter.
Stop. And yeah, and that's why I say like Chase Brown, you can throw that guy in there because he's got those receivers. He's got those guys.
Yeah.
I say Chase Brown. That's the quarterback. I meant Browning.
Oh, okay, I thought you were switching to running back. Okay.
Oh, I was not. But let's talk about those duds. Well, I just made a Dudley comment. Uh, when we're talking duds, I'm thinking right now Brian Thomas Jr. That guy, first round pick for a lot of people, and he is just not producing. Oh, and I do have one more stud. Speaking of wide
Nope, too late. You passed
receivers,
it.
let me go back.
Nope.
Roma Dunze, just throwing it. All right, we're too late. Brian Thomas Jr. We're going on duds. He's just not it right now. You drafted him high, and he's not doing it. He's getting you less than 10 fantasy points. He's not giving you the production that you expect at the position.
Yeah,
What
I
do you have
haven't
for
heard about that guy in 2 weeks. Like I didn't even know he was still playing. Like it's like he's been so quiet. He's like a fantasy ninja. He's hiding in the shadows. Where is he? Is he gonna strike soon? I don't know. I don't think so. But he's gonna be a guy that you can't trust. Keep him on your bench, but then he's gonna strike for like 2 or 3 touchdowns sometime soon. But you don't want that on your fantasy team though. That is not good news. I don't like it.
the thing to remember is he's apparently he's dealing with a wrist injury. So
Mm. All right.
what that's worth.
I got some duds. I got the Eagles. I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts. Like not even 12 points. He's passing for just over 100 yards, like 102 yards or something like that. He's not throwing touchdowns. He's not throwing the ball. He's getting some rushing yards. He'll get some tush pushes, but he's a big disappointment for people that took a quarterback early. So I don't like Hurts. I would bench him. Eagles are winning games, but they're not helping you with fantasy. Those wide receivers, and then I also my other dud. So I'll give you the other one now is AJ Brown. So he's not doing it either. The Eagles win, but in fantasy they suck. They suck, except Saquon Barkley. But the Eagles are killing you. I know you don't mind that because you're like, screw the Phillies. Screw Philly. Screw the Eagles. But fantasy wise, they're a letdown.
No, totally. Those guys are not doing that great. Did you see with Chris Jones and Hurts? You hear about their little conversation
I
at the
did
end of the
not.
game where so Chris Jones said something like, "You didn't even get 100 yards," which I believe Hurts got slightly over 100. Was it like 111, something like that? And Jalen Hurts just said, "We won the game. Shut your mouth." There was some
Oh,
expletives,
yeah. I saw
but
something around that. Yeah, I did see that. Okay.
so that was pretty interesting. Um, let's go. I got some duds. Uh, Josh Allen, like everybody started him expecting 30 fantasy points, and the Bills pretty much controlled the game. So you did not get all your points from that. He got. I don't know if it had anything to do with his face, his nose. He did get crushed in the face, but he did not put up those great fantasy points. Because you're expecting such big things from him. And then the other thing was after his first week, Derrick Henry, you expected him to show up, and he had a fumble, which he never does, and just had a 23 yards and 11 carries. Not not something you are expecting, but that Cleveland Browns, that brings us to another point. Cleveland Browns defense looking pretty stout this year. Um, but those are my duds for the week. And if you want to throw in Ashton Genty, the rookie, he looks like he's going through some growing pains as well.
Yeah, he's slow starting. They're going to keep pounding it to him, so things should get better, but he's not performing on a top notch level yet. Yet. All right, we'll go to the flex debate. We'll put guys that maybe aren't the top guys in fantasy. So like running back, wide receiver, tight end, flex spots to squeeze into your lineup that are like super sleeper or some sort of sleeper. My first one, he's been a dud, but I'm thinking he's gonna break out soon. Calvin Ridley. He's got a bunch of drops. If he stops dropping the ball against the Colts, he might be able to get some action and be a sneaky flex pick. I mean, of course, I hope I'm wrong because I don't want him to do well against the Colts. But he's a guy that I think is
Right.
underperforming on the year that should kick it up a little bit. He should. But that's where it's a risky flex pick, but this is where you take shots. And this could win you your game if he gets like 2 touchdowns against the Colts. But I hope they gobble him up. But I like Calvin Ridley as my first sneaky flex pick.
Sneaky flex
Yeah, nobody's
pick.
gonna see that
All
coming.
right.
He's been terrible.
Yeah, there you go. I got a straight up. I'm thinking like Studley Dudley here, and I mentioned him during the stud period, but Rome Odunze. I tried to sneak him in. I don't think anybody drafted him to be their number two wide receiver, but he's having a phenomenal season up to this point. So if you got
Two
Rome
touchdowns
Odunze just
last week.
sitting on your bench, I know. What are you waiting for? It looks like him and Caleb have a little connection. Go ahead and throw Rome Odunze in your flex. Now, if you're looking for a sneaky, underhanded flex pick, I like Jalen Warren, the running back over there in the Steelers. He's getting the passing downs, plus he's getting roughly anywhere from 10 to 15 carries a game. He's not really killing it in the running game, but it seems like he's a trusted running back. And the thing with when you have Aaron over there and Rodgers is he doesn't like guys who don't know what they're doing. So if you're like a rookie, most times you're not gonna play. Which the Steelers do have a rookie running back, and he had one of the worst kick returns I've ever seen last week. But anyway, Jalen Warren, if you're looking for a good fantasy floor, you just need some points. I think he's
Yeah, I
also
got
really
Warren on my
good.
fantasy bench as the main guy to to fill in for bye weeks or injuries. So I have him ready to go. So I might have to pop him in this week. We'll see which duds I have in my lineup. But Warren was a guy that I went early this year. Like I said, first guy on the bench, ready to come in, ready to put his helmet on. My other flex pick with the Aaron Jones news is Mason. Throw Mason into your lineup. He actually looked better than Jones um, this year. So
He has
he
looked
was
better.
getting more of the carries. They would start Jones, and then Mason would take over. So he's been looking like the better back anyway, and now he's gonna get more carries. So those numbers should just go up with the volume. So I like the Mason into the flex.
Yeah, we'll see how if they use him as a true stud or he's just in on running downs. But Jordan Mason definitely a cool flex. Willie Snyder says picked up Golden on waivers. And that could be another thing on the flex side. If you are struggling and you see somebody like Golden or Dontavian Wicks, it might be worth picking those guys up. Packers are dealing with a lot of injuries at
Stash
the
him.
wide receiver, throw them in there. And if you really want to go wild, throw them on the flex spot and see what happens. Both those guys are going to get targets. Now Wicks got hands made of bricks, and I didn't really mean that to rhyme, but it did.
You
And
were up
then
all last night putting that one together. I know. I know.
I was like Shakespeare, iambic pentameter, and all that good stuff. And then Matthew Golden. I mean, that guy was a first round draft pick, and he's getting the film says he's good. He just needs the targets. So those are some sneaky flexes there.
All right, all right, all right. Any trade talk? Any guys you want to trade away, or any guys that you want to trade for? Um, I don't have too many of those
You got it.
guys. I mean, the only guy that I'm thinking that might get traded, it's not too much fantasy wise, but Anthony Richardson. So even if you get traded by the Colts or whatever, that's not going to impact your fantasy. So that's my main talking point with trade talk. But yeah, you have anything for that?
Yeah, I don't see teams doing some trades, but if you're looking to make some fantasy trades and trade guys onto your team, I would say somebody like Drake London. He's getting targets, but he's been a little. Last week wasn't a great one. He might be a guy who somebody's down on, who you might be able to sneak away. Another guy is Chase Brown. He's not doing what he did last year, but he's getting the carries. He'll have. I'm predicting a break. And this week, with Burrow not being there, maybe they'll lean a little bit more on the run game. And then we just mentioned it, Matthew Golden. Maybe you get him somehow. I don't know what you give up because his value is not that high. But if you're making a trade, maybe you can get the person making the trade with you to add in. If you're looking for that one piece to complete the trade, get Matthew
What
Golden
about
as a
Brees Hall? Because he hasn't been playing so well. So
Brees.
Brees Hall.
Well, Brees Hall had a phenomenal game one. His second game wasn't that great. I think Brees Hall is more of a hold I think you got to hold on Brees Hall because he does look like he's back to year one Brees Hall. Um, yeah, I don't. I mean, if you can trade for
Yeah,
Brees
they
Hall,
they
get
got
him,
to be disappointed with
get
that
him.
early pick if they took Brees Hall. And thoughts on Genti?
Mhm.
Andre in your chat is saying Genti. I mean, you might be able to get him cheap too. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The problem with Genti is he probably went off the board as what a top four running back. Especially for Raiders fans, he probably their number one draft pick. Yeah, I would say Genti's going through some growing pains right now. Right, he's struggling a little bit in pass pro. He's not quite finding the holes the way we're used to. He's still adjusting to the speed of the NFL, and that's a big thing. If you're in a keeper league or anything where dynasty league, anything where you're going past this year, I would say don't even think about trading Genti off your
no
team.
chance.
And if you can get Genti, yeah, and if you can get Genti, you might even want to overpay a little bit to get him. I still don't think that Genti's going to be a bust. I just think he's struggling.
I could care
Oh,
less about him
oh,
struggling. I want to kiss you. Sorry, I had to go all Joe Namath.
my,
Oh man, love that.
oof, that was yeah, oof. Um, Michael Hart Jr. over here as Genty and Hampton. Both of those guys studs, but they are struggling
Rookie,
with the
future
game
studs. I guess I
right
need a
now.
few more weeks to get rolling. But how about
Yeah,
shipping players off your team? So how about if
right.
you have this guy, which I don't know why you would have him. I don't know why he'd be on your team, but he's on some rosters. Javante Williams. So I think it's time to ship that guy off. Trade him for whatever you can, like, get anything. Try to
Right.
rip somebody off because this is not sustainable for the Cowboys. I don't see it. He had another touchdown this past week. You, I think, had him as one of your flex or whatever, and you got a
I
touchdown.
told you.
But he's not going to get,
I
I don't think
told
he's
you.
going to get a lot of yards and
I told you.
touchdowns.
Javante. So here's the thing about Javante Williams. If you don't have a running back, uh, pick him up, get him. And if you do have running backs and you got them on your team, now is the perfect sell
Silent.
high opportunity.
Ship him out of there.
Maybe you can turn Williams into a Genty or a Hampton, yeah, especially if you are in a league where you go progress past this season, right? So um, if you have them, yeah, ship them out. See if you can get one of those studs. Study these studleys, younger studs, right? Running backs' careers are very short, and the injury history is just too big there. Go ahead and see if you can grab yourself. If somebody started off 0-2 and they have Hampton or Genty, and you're like, hey man, you better turn the ship around before your season's over. Let me give you this 20 points per game. Because the thing about the Cowboys that you can sell is who do they have behind them? Miles Sanders. Is Miles Sanders making anybody fear that
Yes, the
Javante
Cowboys.
will his job? Yeah, they are fearful. But yeah, I mean, the guy is just proved. I told you last week, buy it. Um, he put up numbers, so I'm I'm into it. I think you're gonna want, depending on your situation. This is a guy who can go either way. Another guy on my trade list is Travis Etienne. Um,
Second most
right,
rushing yards
the
in the
guy's been
league.
putting up great stats. My problem with Etienne is he's a smaller back and he has a history again of injuries. So I fear that. Do you have any thoughts on Travis Etienne?
I don't see him being a top five running back this year. He's number two right now. I don't see that lasting. I don't see the Jaguars being a playoff team. But looking at the AFC, they are a possible wild card. But I mean, I think they're trying to develop the run a lot more, the Jaguars, because Trevor just can't throw it as well as everybody hoped. So they're going to keep giving him the ball, but I don't think that I think teams are going to catch on to this and then force Trevor Lawrence to pass. So yeah, I think it's going to need to ship him out of there. So get him going, get rid of him. I don't think that's going to be up there now. Jonathan Taylor, I think, stays up there as the number one running back, but
Right.
ETN should slide down the charts. Maybe you can get something nice for him. If you have a dynasty league and you have James Conner, I would try shipping him out because he's getting up there and he's starting to get less carries with Trey Benson on the team. So even if you don't have a dynasty league, I would try to move Connor as well because he's not getting the volume. The volume's not there anymore.
I agree with that. I got one last trade option. Trade away Quentin Johnston of
Quentin
the
Stonehenge Johnson. I
He's
don't. I don't. I, I think he's actually pretty good. I think he started slow in his career, but he's showing that he's reliable for the most part. Every once in a while, you might get a drop, but I actually like him. I wouldn't want to trade him. I would think he'd be good off the bench.
if you're okay, so if you're in a league keeper again or dynasty, keep him on your team. If you are on in a redraft league, there is a chance that his production may slow down. Here's his deal: he's got the same amount of routes run, right, as his counterpart over there. Um, uh, Blanking on his name, but
Lad McConkey, or are you talking about Keenan Allen?
no, Lad McConkey. He's got the same amount. I don't know how I
McConkey's a beast,
but he's got the same amount of routes run as McConkey, and he has more routes run than Keenan Allen. But Keenan Allen has more targets than both those guys, so he could get lost in this shuffle. I mean, Keenan Allen is Mr. Old Reliable. If he's on the field, you can bet that Herbert's looking for Keenan Allen, and then Lad is supposed to be the 1A guy there. So Quentin Johnson, even though he's performing right now like a number one, is not the true number one. So if you can get something that you really want, Quentin Johnson could be a good trade piece for you to throw in there to try to grab that. There's no guarantee that Quentin Johnson is going to continue to be this studly going throughout the year. Then again,
I think a part of this is everybody's underestimating Keenan Allen. I think that's like his whole career. They just underestimate this guy, and he just produces nonstop, and he's just crazy. What do you think? Keenan Allen, possible Hall of Famer?
When you look at the numbers, I don't see how you can't. The guy's just catches and yards and catches and if, yeah, like you said, so underrated. I don't know if he'll get in right away. It may even come down to the Veterans Committee, but I think Keenan Allen, excuse me. I think Keenan Allen he's putting up those great stats, the kind of stats you want from these guys. Like the stats he was putting up for a guy from the 70s or 80s would have been automatic. 90s probably even the same. Now you're talking about guys putting up close to 2,000 yards. Keenan Allen has been Mr. Consistent. Even when he's the third wide receiver, he's putting up over 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
It's insane.
it's wild. I think that's the part of the new game, but I wouldn't say he's like a top five wide receiver for any stretch of the time. So I wouldn't put him in the Hall of Fame. Maybe he gets like the Sterling Shepard treatment in the future, but I don't see him as a Hall of Famer. Reliable, but not one of the best wide receivers, like top wide receivers for a long period of time. That's how I look at the Hall of Fame, and yeah, like he's not like a Randy Moss or Terrell Owens or you know what I mean, Marvin Harrison, who's the one guy that is just top in the league in yards and touchdowns, for like a clump of time. Like Keenan Allen's just reliable. He's good. He puts up some stats, but he's not that main guy across the board.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Let's say they go out and he gets they have a good playoff run. Let's say he even gets an MVP award. I think then he might get the Eli Manning treatment and get in there. Never actually a top five guy, but the guy who performed, got his jewelry.
So you're saying if the Chargers win the Super Bowl and Keenan Allen gets like 3 touchdowns to win the Super Bowl, and then he's going to be in the Hall of Fame?
Three touchdowns, and he needs the MVP.
And the MVP. Well, yeah, if you get 3 touchdowns, like, man, you're probably getting it. But, I mean, they might give it to Herbert. Like, if it's 3 touchdowns and it's all to Keenan Allen, then maybe. Otherwise, they're going to find a way to give it to Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, if Herbert has like 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, maybe they give it, but then Keenan Allen has like 180 of those yards and all 3 touchdowns. Like you gotta give it to that dude. So yeah, Keenan Allen, he's for me borderline. If he didn't make it, would not be shocked. If he gets in, also wouldn't be shocked. I'd be like, that's a dude who consistently performed during his career, even when people said, you know, other people were better on the team. He's always been the guy who's gone out and showed up and showed
All
out.
right. All right. So back to fantasy. We'll go with dynasty talk. My main pick, my only
Oh,
pick I got this week, because we said a bunch of guys, and I was trying to find somebody else, and one guy that stood out, Ollie Gordon the second. Right, so I believe you could agree with me on that. You mentioned him earlier on. He is my guy. You gotta stash him. If he's not stashed on your team right now, you gotta get him because somebody else is gonna gobble him up. So get him on your roster, Pronto. Get him on your roster, Ollie Gordon. So
Ali. Yeah, you know what's funny is I actually dropped him in a few leagues this coming into this week because I was like, they were more like redraft leagues, but I was like, Ollie's not getting any burn, and I took, those are lottery picks when you get to the bottom of your bench. So I dropped the lottery pick. It was the one week I didn't play lotto,
yeah,
and we lost this week. Yeah. My number came up. Dynasty stashes for me. I'm looking at Woody Marks, running back for the Houston Texans over
oh
there. I mean, yeah, if we're talking straight up dynasty, not keeper league, we're talking dynasty. You you draft this team and you're holding on. I think Woody Marks has got a shot to get on. He's getting on the field now, and I think what is it? Daria Ogumbawale. He jumped him. Try saying that 5 times fast.
just try
He's
saying it
jumped him
once. Just
on the
try
depth.
saying it once.
One.
Screw 5 times. I don't even want to say it. I'm not gonna try to say it.
Yeah.
So keep going. What was the
So
guy's name
yeah,
again?
Woody Marks.
I'm just kidding.
Woody. Oh, Woody Mark. His name is Woody. No, Woody Marks. Definitely a stash. I mean, well, who's he got in front of him right now? Nick Chubb. I mean, Chubb is he's better than he was last year, but he's not what he used to be. So Woody Marks is one of those stashes. My next one, I say this name wrong all the time. He should be on a dynasty team by now. If he's not, and I've seen him out there. I picked him up this week after waivers, and I'm like, why does nobody realize this? Elik Ayu Minor, or as some people Ayu
Yeah,
Minor.
Manor.
I watched the game with him this week, and I still don't know what his name is because I heard a different pronunciation at
Yeah,
least twice during
but they kept saying
in the game.
Ao Manor when I watched the Broncos Titans game. So
So yeah, but he's out there, guys. If you see him out there, the dude's getting targets, and I don't see why nobody believes why his some leagues his ownership is below 10%. If you're in a dynasty league, pick this guy up. I mean, who else do you have sitting on the end of your bench that's doing better than him? All right, um, and then I'll just
you
go for
got you
my
had
last
three of
one.
them. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, this one is Michael Wilson, Arizona Cardinals. He's been around a little bit. I think when there's injuries over there in Arizona, this is a guy who they rely on in the passing game. I think he's still out there again on a lot of waiver rosters. The guy does score some touchdowns here and there, but he's a guy to have around in case there is an injury in the wide receiver corps over in
Wilson.
Arizona. They seem to Michael Wilson. It's nothing. Yeah, I just threw it in there. It's nothing fancy, nothing flashy. He's not going to win you a league, but as you know, sometimes you just need a guy to throw into a flex or a second flex, or if you're in one of those crazy leagues with 3 flex spots, you just need a guy. And Michael Wilson is a hot body. You can throw him in there. And if there is an injury, like I said, he usually becomes kind of like that 1A guy. He goes from being a D-lister to an A-lister. I don't understand it, but all it takes is one injury, and this guy gets shot up the boards.
Yep. And then a deep stash would be Isaac Tesla. Tesla. All right, Isaac
Yes.
Tesla. Um, he's not going to do too much this year, but stash him on the end of your bench for the future because the Rams, the Lions have a bunch of good wide receivers now, but he could pop off with an injury, or just save him for next year. That's my one little stash for this week. Apart from Gordon, who's now Tesla, would be later.
Test.
Yeah.
And Yeah, and I mean, there's again, I've been saying it every week. Kyle
You love that
Manangai,
guy.
he's a
I think you just
he's a
love his
fun
name. I
guy.
think that's
That
what it is. You don't like him, you just like his name. Just say it.
Manangai makes it a fun guy.
All right, so pick six time, which is the meat and potatoes of the show, the final 17 minutes. This is what you've all been waiting for, I think. Maybe, perhaps, I don't know. But this is we go through a quarterback, running back, two wide receivers, tight end, and a defense. That should be in your lineup for your week to week fantasy. And we're gonna give you one high guy. Well, not. Well, never mind. But and one lower end guy that you can put into your roster. So depending on what you need, we're giving you two options for your success. All right, quarterbacks.
Yes.
Um, I have the top guy. You got to go with this guy. Is just he's amazing. Like if you're gonna put your money in the quarterback, Lamar Jackson. That's simple. They're going against the Lions. That should be another shootout, like the Buffalo Bills versus the Ravens, week one. That's what this could be with Lamar Jackson doing it again. So especially if Henry's not gonna get the ball so much, just let Lamar go. So top guy for me at quarterback.
Him go. Let him burn. I don't hate that pick. I like it. So here's the thing. I've, you know, not a huge DFS player, but I've been doing it for a couple years now. But one thing I learned is if you want to take it all, you got to be a little risky, and you gotta be able to play players that other people aren't. And this guy's uh, price has gone up, so now he's up there with the higher priced quarterbacks. But I'm picking Daniel Jones. All right, he was good or great when the price was low. The price is higher now, and if you're looking to separate yourself from the pack, Danny Dimes over there is doing it. Indiana Jones over there is crushing it.
Five touchdowns,
Um,
no turnovers.
so
2 weeks.
yeah, so 2 weeks, right? So for a higher cost quarterback, when we were talking low cost quarterbacks, we were throwing them in there. But for a higher cost quarterback, now we're talking Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones. So that is my higher cost quarterback. Now, for my lower cost quarterback, we're going real cheap. We're going to throw in Carson
Wow, that's
Wentz.
really low.
Wow.
Wow, Wentz.
Yeah. And why are we throwing that in? Well, one,
He's going down to the dollar
Bargain.
store,
We are-
picking up Carson Wentz and throwing him in his lineup.
we went to the Dollar Tree, we went to Savers, we went to all the
Wow.
we went to all dollar bookshop over there. I trust that offense, that Vikings offense. I think Jordan Mason's going to add something to the running game, which is going to improve the play action pass game. And then you're going to have JJ over there, Justin Jefferson, running wild out there in the secondary. And I still think Carson Wentz has the ability to push the ball down the field. So I can see Carson Wentz doing a good enough job at quarterback to be worth a low budget pick. Who do you have?
Yeah,
Who's your
It's nowhere near that bargain, but he was further down the list. He was at the eighth quarterback when I was looking. It's Baker Mayfield because he's just coming through. Lamar was like number one. Baker was towards 8. It's not low, 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 but it's a little bit cheaper than those top guys because he's coming through with touchdowns in the end, and he's doing everything right. So I like Baker, and he's playing the Jets. The Jets. So they can't do anything. Their defense can't stop anybody. Their offense can't do anything. It's going to be even worse with Taylor. So Baker's just going to have a day. So.
Oh yeah, Baker. I mean, and if you're watching the games, Baker's going to be fun to watch.
He's a blast.
It makes
He's
it
blast. He's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to move on to wide receiver because
We're skipping running back, one wide receiver.
okay, we'll go running back. I have because I wanted to go wide receiver, but we also have the Jordan Mason stack there with Carson Wentz, maybe a check down guy. But Jordan Mason is my lower cost running back at the moment. That is the guy who I'm picking up at a cheap price because I believe he will be a part. Now, you don't normally do that stack. You don't normally stack your quarterback with your running back. But I think Jordan Mason's cost is so effective, and the fact that he's going to help with the play action game. So they're going to establish the run early. I think Jordan Mason is that guy. He can also just bust off like a 20-yard, 40-yard run.
Yep. So we're starting the
That's
low
what.
end running back. We'll go ETN. He's got the most yards. We'll see if he keeps it going. I know he said he's probably not going to keep it up, but it's a lower end pick. So if you want to save money, you can go ETN because it's still going. So keep riding that train until it derails. So I got ETN.
Crazy
Yeah.
train.
Against the Texans, I kind of want the Jaguars to win, and one way they do that is if they run the ball with ETN and slam those Texans. So what about the high pick? Where you spend a ton of
Let's
money.
go
Which of the top guys do you want to put in your lineup?
So right now I am looking at on the high end. We're looking Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey. I think you've been pounding.
He's doing everything. He's doing everything.
Yeah, and I think this is you still gotta pound it. I don't know if he's not. He's still a high end running back. Don't get me wrong. His price point is real high, but it's not as high as it was like a couple of years ago, where you picked him and then you had to pick a bunch of bums. You can pick him, and you can still get another one or two other great guys in your lineup right now. So Christian McCaffrey. They got Jones over there. So they will lean a little bit more into the running game. Not that I don't trust Jones, but Jones is prone to throwing some wacky passes every once in a while. So they'll lean into Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey does it all.
Just to be clear,
Run.
he's talking about Mac Jones, not Daniel Jones. Okay, so Mac Jones.
Yes.
I hear Jones, and there's so many Jones out there. So just making sure that it's Mac Jones that throws those stinkers, not Daniel Jones anymore. It's Mac Jones.
It's hard. Yeah. It's hard keeping up with the Joneses.
That should be a reality show. We should call all the Joneses in the NFL: Aaron Jones, Ron, Mac, Daniel, and probably other. What do we have? Jalen Jones, and it'd be a reality show for men. Like all those other stupid reality shows are more for women. This would be for men. Keeping up with the Joneses. But my top pick, I love watching this guy. This guy reminds me of Marshall Faulk, and it's Bijan Robinson. This guy's all over the place. His cuts are so smooth and quick. He just slices around the field. It's crazy. And Bijan Robinson, he's the main point of the offense, sort of like McCaffrey for the Niners, and he's got the Panthers this week. So the Panthers are just going to be 11 chickens without heads chasing after Bijan Robinson. It's going to be a mess. So I'm going to put your money into Bijan. All right, that's my pick.
Did you hear he was like, everybody was like, Bijan, and then he's like, no, my name's Bijan, and then, which they're so close anyway. And then last week he's like, I don't like people calling me Bijan, so he's like, I'm back to being Bijan. I don't even know if I said the name right.
Bijan or Bijan?
Bijan.
So
he's
Bijan,
not
he went
Bijan.
to Bijan, now he's back to Bijan.
Bijan, yeah, more really close together, not separated. Yeah, not less like Dijon and just Bijan. He's just Bijan. He said he didn't like the way.
Robinson. How about we just call him that?
Right, Mr. Rob.
Well, then we can keep up with the Robinsons. Aren't there a bunch of Robinsons in the NFL? Probably not as many as Jones, but I think there's some Robinsons.
That is. Yeah. But Bijan was on my radar too. I believe he's a little bit more pricier than McCaffrey, so that's kind of why I went the McCaffrey route, save a couple of bucks on the running backs. But with Bijan, or Bijan, you can't
I
go
don't know who
wrong.
This is.
Bijan Robinson, Mr. Robinson. I'm gonna go with Mr. Robinson. Cue laughter.
That's what you do.
All right.
You totally forgot about the laugh track the whole time, and then you're like, "Oh, cue laughter." We could have popped that in maybe some other spots, and then it's just.
Man, that was.
Oh my God.
Took my shot and I wasted it. All right, we'll move on to wide receiver. We'll start high end, and high end for me is Justin Jefferson. If you really want to do a true stack between quarterback and wide receiver, you're going to save a lot of money doing Wentz. And what I've seen is actually a progressively lowering of the price of JJ every week. It seems like people are
There's a
losing
good
a
reason
little
for
bit of
that.
faith.
There's a good reason.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're looking for a decent stack, I think a lot. They may not bracket Justin Jefferson as much this
Yeah.
week. They say
I'm worried. I'm
is
worried about him.
in the
I'm worried about him. The question mark of J.J. McCaffrey and now Wentz. We haven't seen that guy really play a meaningful game in over 2 years. So,
I think what it will lead to, maybe, possibly, is teams saying, "Hey, Wentz, prove it," and not really bracketing JJ, not doubling JJ off the bat. We'll have a big play for a touchdown for JJ, and then we'll see where it transpires from there. But I don't think right away they're gonna cover Justin Jefferson the way they have been. So I think you can maybe sneak in a couple of passes and a big play, and we might get away from it. What do you
I
got
would put my
for
money
your
to
stuff?
Lammy, Mr. Lamb against the Bears because it's the Bears. Everybody does well against the Bears. Man, Quentin Johnston would do well against the Bears. Everybody does well against the Bears. So Lamb, he tore up the Giants. He's gonna torch the Bears and go Lammy for all the money. Then my next guy would be Malik Neighbors because man, that Cowboys Giants game was insane, and they're going against the Chiefs. So I don't believe in the Chiefs secondary, and I think Neighbors is just darn near unstoppable. He's gonna have the volume like you were saying before. Targets, just throw him the ball. He's like I feel like he's gonna be a New York Terrell Owens. I'm getting those vibes that that he just wants the ball. Thinks he's always open. He's kind of got that flair to him, that attitude, if you will. So he's just gonna want the ball.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, keep the Russ. Shut your mouth. Throw me the ball. I don't care. Like, just keep throwing me the ball. It's that's what I'm seeing from Neighbors, and he backs it up. So just like To did and Randy Moss, that they want the ball. I mean, not Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson,
Right.
he was mid. Just throw me the ball. But Neighbors closer to To than Keyshawn Johnson. So yeah, I'm liking where his career is heading. Play Neighbors and Lamb at the high end to spend your money for wide receivers.
There you go. I had CD Lamb as my other high end wide receiver.
Oh, you had Lammy too?
Yeah,
Double down on Lamb. So we both agree on Lamb. That's got to be a good sign.
doubly for Lamb and Neighbors. You can't go wrong with Neighbors. Neighbors is he's that pick. He's that dude. He's the guy. Like I agree with your pick on Neighbors. Yeah, and I like what you were saying about him telling Russell Wilson to shut up. He's like, Russell Wilson, you're here for a short time, not a
Yeah,
good
right.
time. Give me the damn.
Come on, Russell. You will take it. You will like it. Just throw it
Yeah.
in my direction. If it all panics, throw it up for me. I'll catch the ball.
Just give it to me. What do we? My discount receiver though. I also like Keenan Allen. I like how he just gets the ball time after time. Like he's just getting that ball over and over again. And I think Keenan Allen is a good budget play.
Time after time.
So
I'm going to start saying that at work now
There we
because
go.
of you. All right, so Keenan Allen is your guy in the bargain bin, chilling there with Carson Wentz, apparently, down at the Dollar Tree. Cue laughter!
Yeah. Panic.
Boo! Do we... There's some
You
craziness.
want to boo?
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. All right. My lower end guys that aren't super pricey. We got Dunze. Seems like the only guy that Caleb can actually throw the ball to, besides checking it down to his running back and offensive lineman. So Dunze against the Cowboys, they got a weak sauce defense because Neighbors diced them up. Russell Wilson diced them up. So maybe, just maybe, Caleb Williams has over 150 yards passing. All right, he should. But Dunze is my first guy. My second guy is Pearsall, because Mac Jones got to throw somebody. Pearsall's been moving up. Maybe he gets a touchdown or two because Jones is throwing to these other guys. Mac Jones was throwing to these other guys,
Mac.
and I'm like, what? Come on, Pearsall. Pearsall's the guy. So he's gonna open up. He is a bargain. Yeah, those are my two.
I think your two. I think they do pass the ball a little bit in San Fran. The system's pretty good. I think even Juwan Jennings is a good lower cost stash as well. It might be a pick 'em, but Pearsall's a good pick too. He's got talent. They didn't draft him in the first round for nothing. So we'll see what's
You got any
happening.
other? Were those your
Juwan
two
Jennings,
low guys?
I would say Juwan Jennings is the other guy on my list, but Juwan Jennings or Ricky Pearsall. To me, it could be a coin flip. If you're looking to save money, go with the one who's cheapest, and if you have a buck or two left over,
You've got to
you
have
go
a
with the
buck or two.
All right, those were our
Okay,
wide receivers.
so tight end pick of the week. We're in we're at the 2 minute warning. We are cruising. We got tight end and defense left. Tight end stud. Let's hear it, Will.
My tight end stud for this week is Tyler Warren. Now he had a little bit of an injury scare, but he's moving
He's
up
not
the
injured.
price
He's
ranks.
fine.
He's fine. He's fine. Walk it off. Yeah, I think Tyler Warren is my big pick. The guy's the real deal. Like he's out there. He's
Real
getting
deal Holyfield.
he's getting target. He's getting the targets. He's getting the play. That is my high end tight end play for this week. What do you got,
High
sir?
end,
for
I
that?
went Laporta. I think he's underperforming, but they're going against the Ravens. Everybody's going to get the ball. Goff's going to throw a lot of touchdowns, so Laporta's going to get one. He's going to get one. Lock it in. At least one touchdown, Laporta, against the Ravens. Everybody's going to be watching that game. I'm excited about that game. Boom. Laporta, touchdown. High-end money. That's where I'm going.
Nice. I do like Laporta. If we're going low end, I actually have two low ends here. All right, I've been banging the drum on this guy, but Brenton Strange, that is a low end for me. I think he's getting targets, and it's only a matter of time. I think before he has a breakout game, has that touchdown. So if you're looking for that, and then we have Mr. Old Reliable Jake Ferguson. All right, he's a little bit more mid tier in terms of pricing, but if you're looking for a guy who's going to get some targets, he's still there. People were worrying with Pickens joining the Dallas offense that Ferguson may not get enough targets, but he's getting some targets. So, yeah, check out Jake Ferguson. What do you got?
My low end guy, I kind of like this rookie from the Browns. I'm going to go with him, Fannin Jr. again. He's getting some targets. He'll probably get some touchdowns. If only Flacco can throw the ball a little bit better, then he would do even better. But if you're really going to stretch, if you're going to hang out with Carson Wentz and Strange and all these guys, but go with Fannin. I like him, and he's moving on up on my list. So that's my tight end. Fannin yet again. I like him. I don't know, something about him.
It's not bad. I like Fannin.
All right, we're in
All
overtime.
right.
The last one, defense. Go.
Defense. Sheesh. I had a real hard time with defense, but if I got to pick one, we're going Buccaneers against the Jets. We don't know what the Jets quarterback situation is. And if you don't know the quarterback situation, you can plan for that running game. It's not like they have a Travis Henry back there. We're talking about Breece Hall. Breece Hall's not a pounder or plotter. He's needs some holes, but if you can stack 8-9 guys in the box, I think you're going to slow down that Jets running game. And if you don't know the quarterback situation, there probably isn't much of a passing game. So Buccaneers for me as a defensive DST.
I like the Packers. Their defense. I didn't think they were going to be that good this year, and they are dominating. They're dominating. So Packers against the Browns. Packers against Flacco. That if you're going to put all your money in the defense, which probably most people aren't doing, Packers is the way to go against the Browns. Sheesh. My low end, which people are probably going to go trend towards, is I got the Falcons against the Panthers. Bryce Young loves to turn it over. He'll get the garbage time yards. But the Falcons, they had a sneaky good defense this past week. So
yeah,
I like the Falcons to save money. But the Packers, man, against the Browns, that's like the lock of a week that the Packers are beating the Browns. Uh, but
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Low end for me. I'm going to sneak in the Patriots there. I still think, Aaron Rodgers had a good first week, week one, but I don't see a true running game over there with the Steelers. I don't see the best of the passing game there, and I don't see another 4 touchdown game in Aaron Rodgers' career
I
ever
knew
again.
that was a
So,
fluke, but Dr. DeLay, my co-host on my other channel, he loves the Steelers, and he's like, he's good. He's doing great. If it wasn't for the offensive line, I'm like, nope, nope, nope. Stop it. Stop that nonsense.
well, that's the thing. You can't. He's not as mobile. So if you don't have an offensive line, you don't have a quarterback. Like, no matter how good his arm still is, if he can't escape the rush, you're done. You're
Oh,
cooked.
yeah. And
You
he's
are
cooked,
cooked.
especially with no offensive line. He can't move. So he used to be able to maneuver and run as needed, but Aaron Rodgers is donezo, and we are donezo. We got to start our day, people. Fantasy Football Friday is done. I got to go to work. I got to get ready. And I'm ready for a nap, though, but I am not super pumped. But the good news is it's Friday.
Friday night, just got paid.
What's happening? We have Prince in here? Was that like Prince or Rick James? I don't know what's happening.
Rick James. But we got to get out of here, folks. But it was awesome doing this again, my
All
boy.
right.
Rhino.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Will. Thanks, Rhino Nation. Fantasy Football Friday. We'll catch you next week. Same time, same Rhino place. Does that work? I don't even know.